Assalamualaikum and selamat sejahtera. I be to Dr. Zu and all my fellow friends. Today we from Group 10 will be present about the commercial bank operation. Okay, the definition of commercial bank is a financial institution which accept deposit from the public and give loans for the purpose of consumption and investment to make profit. So the general function of commercial bank is to provide financial services to the general public, ensuring economic and social stability and sustainable growth of the economy. So the primary functions of commercial bank is to accept various type of deposits from the public, especially from its clients, including saving account deposit, recurring account deposit, and fixed deposit. Next, to provide loans and advance of various forms including an overdraft facility, cash credit, bill discounting, money at call, and etc. Okay, next, to give demand and term loans to all type of clients against proper security. Next, to act as trustee for will of their customer. There are two types of secondary functions of commercial bank. First, agency function is to collect and clear checks, dividends, and interest warrant, to make payments of rent and insurance premium, to deal in foreign exchange transactions, to purchase and sell securities, to act as the trustee, attorney, correspondent, and executor, and to accept tax proceeds and tax returns. Second, utility function is to provide safe deposit boxes to customers, to provide money transfer facility, to issue travelers checks, to act as referees, to accept various bills of payment, and to provide various cards.
Next, I would like to explain about the sources of bank's fund. First of all, we need to know what is a bank. A bank is a business firm and its main aim is to earn profit. In order to achieve this objective, it provides services to the customer. Bank also offers a variety of interest-bearing obligation to the public. These obligations are the sources of fund for the banks and are shown on the liability side of the balance sheet of a commercial bank. There are two main types of fund, which is bank's own fund and a bank's borrowed fund. Next, we will see about the sources of fund of a commercial bank. When it comes to a commercial bank's main sources of funds come from the customer's deposit. The issue of the certificate of deposit, the share capital contributed to the bank's shareholder and reserved from the related profit. As we all know, a commercial bank's main uses of fund are for the lending to the customers and the investment.
A commercial bank's main use of funds are for lending to customers and investment, but a commercial bank has to keep substantial funds in the form of cash and short-term investment as liquid assets. Banks must hold some cash as reserve to meet the reserve requirements enforced by the Federal Reserve. The main use of bank funds is for making loans. The loan amount and maturity can be tailored to the borrower's needs. A common type of business loan is the working capital loan, which is designed to support ongoing business operations. An alternative to the informal line of credit is the revolving credit loan, which obligates the bank to offer up to some specified maximum amount of funds over a specified period of time. Next, some large corporations wish to borrow a larger amount of funds than any individual bank is willing to provide. Commercial banks may provide individuals with installment loans to finance purchases of cars and household products. Banks also provide real estate loans. Banks purchase various types of securities. One advantage of investing funds in securities rather than making loans is that the securities tend to be more liquid. Some banks frequently lend funds to other banks in the federal funds market. Recall that from the borrower's perspective, a repurchase agreement transaction involves repurchasing the securities it had previously sold. Lastly, must maintain some amount of fixed assets, such as office building and land, so that they can conduct their business operations.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Najam binti Yatim and I will present the commercial bank's key to protect the COVID hit Malaysian economy. According to a Malaysian Rating Corporation Berhad (MARC) report, commercial banks can play a vital role in safeguarding the Malaysian economy in the long term, which is currently beleaguered by the COVID-19 pandemic. The Bank Negara Malaysia paint a lukewarm outlook for the economy this year, with growth projected to be in the range of 0.5% and negative 2.0% due to the pandemic. The central bank expects external and internal demand to weigh down on the economy, with moderate private consumption growth at 4.2% on the back of job loss and wage decay, but somewhat offset by fiscal support. Next, the report said Bank Negara Malaysia has already lowered its statutory reserve requirement (SRR) by a total 150 BP in undoubting the banking sector with enough liquidity that is helpful for business struggling against a high cash burn rate. The report added again, we note that banking sector is in much better shape in 1998 and 2009 recessions. In February 2020, the sector's total capital ratio stood significantly higher at 18.4%. Asset quality had remained relatively steady last year, with the gross impaired loans GIL ratio at the year-end coming in at 1.5%.
Now, we will look at the commercial bank solution to COVID-19. In the first category, we have loans, NPL provisioning. The deferment of all loan repayment for a period of 6 months. Next, we have the capital. Banks may draw down on the capital conservation buffer of 2.5%. Next, we have the liquidity. BNM, also known as Bank Negara Malaysia, has supplied daily ringgit liquidity to banks. Bank Negara Malaysia has requested an additional measure related to IFRS 9. Firstly, we have automatic moratorium on repayment or payment of loans such financing. Next, liberalized lending or financing limits. Third, we have drawdown of prudential buffers. And lastly, we have MFRS 9 and financial reporting requirement. Of BNM's relief measure. In terms of capital, we have the profitability. The borrowers will have a chance to recover from the temporary financial constraint, and for the asset quality, it will not be deteriorated. In terms of liquidity, they can still maintain the liquidity needs during stress period, and for the provision,
Azimah binti Ibrahim, metric number 050163. Okay, now I will conclude for this topic. Okay, we go to the conclusion. Okay, commercial banks are very important source of institutional credit, especially in pandemic COVID-19 period, as they are the major depository of people's saving. They are very important device for providing short-term credit to trade and e-commerce. Before this, everyone still have time to settle bank things, but due pandemic COVID-19, there are so limited time to settle everything. The limitation of direct contact in the bank and recommendation concerning non-cash payment will encourage the use the use of electronic channel of access to banking product and services by customer segment that have not been interested in such communication so far, especially in this pandemic. The need to work remotely will reorient the existing employment policy in commercial bank. As with previous global crisis, it is essential to learn lessons from the current situation, as pandemic are unlikely to be repeated in the future. Therefore, biggest challenge facing the banking sector today is to reorient existing strategy to prepare for similar scenario in the future. Okay, that's all from us. Thank you.